Hi, it's been ages since I've reviewed this bag. Actually, I think I've never reviewed it. I think I unboxed it and then it sort of fell to the bottom of my list and life happened, but I am back. This is my most, I'm gonna say it's one of my top 3 most complimented bags. If I go out in public with this bag, I will have women stop me and say like, who made that bag? As you know, I have a whole lot of purses, and so this is distinct in that way. Like nothing is more of a conversation starter than this bag. So anyways, I know I've had a couple people ping me and say like, can you please review it? We just saw your unboxing. So I'm here. I think it did take me about a year, so I do apologize about that, but better late than never. So a couple things. This is, as you know, this is an Emil Erwin. I love this bag and this maker because I like to support small shops. That's what he is. I like to support quality. I like things that are built for life. And this hits all those marks. So he has a modest collection of bags. I think he has maybe like 4 or 5 styles. This is one of 2 totes that he has. And I'll qualify that statement in a bit because I had some changes made to the bag. He has a market tote and I think it's a porter. So one very large and one more modest size. This is actually custom sized bag, so it's somewhat in between. And you can see it's like more square than his other, it's like in between his other 2 bags. And I want to say it's like 15 by 15 inch square. The reason I had it custom is because, you know, I like to carry my laptop and I want to have a dedicated laptop pocket. Almost no bags made for women. Changed a little bit in the last year, which I'm very grateful for, but almost no bags made for women have a dedicated laptop tote. So I reached out to him, laptop pocket. So I reached out to him and said, hey, could you, do XYZ for me? This is kind of what I want. These are the changes that I want to make. And he was so gracious about doing that for me. So that's another thing, right? You can't ever reach out to Gucci and say like, ooh, I really like it, but could you just move the pocket? No. So work with small shops if you can, if you have a chance to support it. It's nice. So I asked him, I said, could you make, and I'll go like this because you can see the laptop when I do that. I said, could you make a dedicated laptop sleeve? And he did it. So I gave him the dimensions of my laptop, and that's why this bag is as wide as it is and as tall as it is primarily to accommodate that. And before we go into the bag and some of the like changes that I made and some of the changes that I would make if I got another bag from him again, let's just spend a second on the outside. So this leather is like, it's like half the reason you buy the bag. I think he uses insanely high quality leather. You can tell that it's going to last a lifetime. You can tell that you're buying quality. I think the other half of the reason that you buy from Emil Erwin is just straight up craftsmanship. There's a weight and a longevity to the way that this is put together that you don't see in other totes. And so let's just spend a second on the outside looking at it. First, I don't know if you can see that, and I really hope you can, but there's just a thickness to these straps. A lot of the straps, like they're the first things to go, right? They start to show like the wear and tear. They just aren't built to last. That's not the case here. This thing is like insanely thick. And keep in mind that you're making the trade-off between like a lightweight bag and a bag that's going to go the distance. So for me, I prefer like weight and a bag that's going to last a lifetime. So the first thing is the insanely thick straps. And then let me just swing it around here. So it's stitched here. And I don't know like the style or anything like that, the stitching. So I'm not going to comment on that. But he has this piece here that kind of folds over and then that's what's stitched, right? So it's reinforced. It's not like he just took the 2 pieces and sewed them. He put this like extra bookend, for lack of a better word. It's almost like the bull nose on a countertop, right? It kind of does this. So I feel like it's far more secure. And then at these stress points, he took another tab, put it here, and then he riveted it. So how many syllables are in riveted it? So anyways, that's that. And this tab goes all the way around. Let me just do this. Like, there's no feet on the bag, but I feel like it's a very sturdy bag. And then things like this, right? Like, yeah, you could probably get away with 1 rivet and it's fine, but it's got 3. These have 2. It's not going anywhere. And then I'm gonna do this and hopefully you can see. Like, he takes the extra step of putting, I think this is like called like the washer, right? He puts it underneath that rivet. So I feel like the bag is just like further protected when it gets hammered in, like it's not in any way damaging the leather. So it's all just these little things that kind of come together to make the bag sing, and then just to make it feel like, yeah, I more than got what I paid for. Okay, so I have it stuffed exactly how I used to carry it. Let me do this and kind of show it to you. So, back here, I have my laptop. And I had it sized exactly to fit my laptop. And you can see, like, because I had it sized exactly to fit my laptop, I kind of got to, like, work it a little to pull it in and out. Fine with that. I didn't want, like, a laptop sleeve that was, like, excessively loose. I wanted the laptop to be, like, tight to the bag. And I have a dongle here, just one small one. And you can still get it in there with that in there. If I took that out, I think it probably would slide easier in and out. And so that's how I carried it. And then I and I've kind of gone back and forth because there was a period in my life where I was more into like the pouches. But with this bag, because it stands so easily and because you can see really well down into the top, I did one of these. This is a clover sack. And it fit perfectly in the bottom of the Emil Erwin, and it kind of allowed me to like wrangle all that junk. So I had just like, I don't know, like I have like my garage clicker in here, and I have like this emergency thing with like band-aids, and I have like sunscreen, just like miscellaneous stuff. And so this fit really nicely, and that was it. And then I have these, by the way, these glasses that I have on. Funny story with the glasses. You know, I'm gonna digress because that's what I do. That's why these videos are so long. Like these glasses, I guess like Meghan Markle liked them, and for whatever reason, it kept popping up in my feed. Like, oh my God, Meghan likes these glasses. She likes these glasses. And I was like, that is so dumb. I really don't care what she likes. Like, I don't need to see this, you know, just like X out. Keeps popping up. And they say that's one of the things that, it's familiarity. It's one of the things that you gravitate towards, things that you hear frequently, right? That's why commercials are the way they are. Like, have these jingles. And then the 20th time I saw it, it was like, you can never buy these glasses. They're always sold out. And then one time it pops up in my feed. For a limited time, get these glasses. They're back in stock. And so I did it. Anyways, that's what this is. I'll put the link down below if you care. But I actually do really like the glasses. So that's that. I have something loose rolling around in here, the cap to one of my somethings. Here's the bag empty. If you follow me on Instagram, you see there was like a period where I was like stuffing it to the gills because I was, I don't remember. I was going back and forth down somewhere and the weather was changing. So I had like all of this plus like 2 jackets and like a bottle of wine. No problem. Handled this thing like a champ. So that's it. Let me show you the bag empty just so you can see what it looks like. It still has, so this kind of collapses. It's not so stiff that it wouldn't collapse empty. You can see that it still has structure. Would it stand with nothing in it? Kind of, sort of. The straps are heavy, so they're sort of making it fall to one side. But that's it. It's a very straightforward bag, somewhat, right? It's straightforward in like the carry, but it's intricate and it's how it's been put together and its craftsmanship. So I adore this bag. I do want to talk about some version 2.0 things. So here's what I would do different if I went and got a second custom bag from Emil Erwin. Here's what I did already do different. So let me take a minute to address that. The first thing that I did is right here, right? So this ordinarily, this pocket here that holds the laptop, this just doesn't exist. And in front of it, he has 2 divided pockets, just like kind of sewn right in front of that. The first thing that I would do is I would take that divided pocket and I'd flip it to the other side so that one side has the laptop and one side has the divided pocket. Here's why I would do that. When I'm carrying my laptop like this, right, and I carry it with my laptop to my person, otherwise the bag's going to constantly want to like lean out. And I open it because I want to get something out of the pocket. You can't do that. Well, you can, but it's not as easy because the pockets that are divided are right up against your person also. Versus if they were on the far side like they are now, I can easily see like, ah, there's my phone, there's my wallet, there's what I need. So I would split that up. I would put the laptop pocket on one side, I'd put the divided pocket on the other side. And this is gonna surprise you, I also have an opinion about which side it should be on. That surprises nobody. I've got an opinion about everything. So I would not, currently the laptop pocket is here on the double D-ring side. I don't notice it actually when the bag is like not super stuffed, that I've got the double D-rings against me. When the bag is super stuffed, I do notice it, and I wish that the double D-rings were on the other side, or that the pocket were on the other side, so that the part that is like the most flush, which is the single D-ring side, is the one that's up against my person. So that's the second change I would make. Here's the third change that I would make. And I don't say these things to say like, I don't like this bag or don't buy this bag. I absolutely love this bag. I do version 2.0s for all my bags because I think there's always ways that you can like tighten it up and make it a little cleaner. So it does have this really nice closure here because a lot of totes are just open. And that's fine for a lot of things, but it's nice just to have the option to do the closure. I almost never do the closure. I put it through the D-rings like this, and I just kind of let it hang. And for me, that's good enough, right? Like if I'm in a crowded place, it keeps it snug, and I'm fine with that. One of the reasons I don't do the D-ring, and by do it, I mean close it all the way, is because how you do that is you pull the one up, you take this strap, and you push it through. This is really thick leather, so that's some of the trade-off, right? It takes a little bit of doing. I don't mind that at all. Again, like I'd rather have the thickest leather possible. So you do this, it goes through, it gets super tightly closed, look at that. But here's what I'm not digging. I'm not digging this. And I kind of thought about like, how would you make that different so that you don't have to deal with this? You know, the obvious option is just cut it shorter. The reason I don't like cutting it shorter is because some days you may have this really stuffed, in which case you couldn't close it at all. So how could you fix this without giving up the length of the strap? And what I would do is I would flip it. I would put the long strap here, and I would put the D-rings on this thing. And so what that would do is you'd feed it through, and when it was closed, gravity would have this excess tail facing down instead of facing up. So that's my change that I would make. And I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, well, people are going to say, I don't want this D-ring dangling over the bag because it's going to make noise, what have you. And if it's not being used, it's going to be on this side. Up against you, maybe it's not comfortable. But my solution to that is make it so that it's long enough that you could just tuck it right here when it's not in use. Put a little band, and then it's kind of out of the way. So that's the one change I would make to the outside buckle. And then on this side, there's a D-ring here. I'm honestly not 100% sure of its purpose. So except that I do know some women like to clip stuff to their bag, or, sorry, one second. I hate it when people go off camera, but I do also know like some women really like to accessorize their totes, which I don't normally, but I'm like sort of starting to. So if you wanted to like, sometimes I see like women put a scarf. This scarf's like a little too long. You really need like the square handkerchief scarf to pull this look off. But I could see doing this to it, right? And it sort of, it just adds this like, and this is not the right thing. Like I think you need a square like colorful scarf that you tie onto the D-ring. So I could see it sort of for that purpose, but other than that, and now I've tied this on in such a way that I couldn't possibly get it off while I'm on camera, which is amazing. How do you do that? Like I just put it on. Anyways, now it's really, really on there. But So I don't really know, to be honest, the specific intent behind it, but what I would say is like, you kind of don't need it. And so I would get rid of this altogether. It would lighten up the bag a tiny bit, and it would just give it, it would just make it that much more utilitarian. And if there's a reason that it's on there, please tell me so I can educate myself. And then my last 2.0 is I would make the hardware matched. It's a really elegant, sharp looking tote. I love the copper rivets here, and I think the stainless steel stands out, and I would prefer that it matches. And it could be something as simple as like, hey, there's nothing better than stainless steel in terms of strength for a D-ring. So if that's true, then I am willing to sacrifice that. If there is a way to get hardware that matches, then that would be my preference. That is it. This is still one of my most favorite, most commented bags. I literally swear that I've had women like stop me and say like, who made that? And then, you know, we do the whole thing and I show them the website and they're very excited. I show them the laptop sleeve, people flip out. It's a really, really, really nice bag. I do have, I hope that one day I'll get the black version of it, and get like slightly more petite bag. So and I have designs for that one too. So hopefully, I don't know, maybe Santa will be good to me next year and help me get that. But this is Emil Erwin, handmade in America. There aren't a ton of handmade makers. So if that speaks to you and that's something that you want to support, please check out Emil Erwin. Links down below. If you have any questions about this bag, what fits, my other thoughts, my other comments, please let me know. Always happy to help you. That is it. Thank you so much.